All right, we'd like to welcome everyone to the 7th edition of the Coach Smith Show for the 2024 football season. We have a special edition this week as we are broadcasting live from Jack Donovan's Cajun Boys and our Poboys in Pelham, Alabama. I'm Scott Stafford. I'm your producer for tonight's event. With me, of course, is ECS Athletics Director and Head Football Coach Tim Smith. Before we get started, just want to let you know we got a little different format since we're broadcasting from Jack Donovan's place tonight.
I smell seafood. I don't know about you.
It sure is. It smells great, too. I can't wait to have some. First of all, since we're live streaming the coaches show, if you would like to ask Coach a question, you can put it in the chat on YouTube, and I've got ECS Media Club student over here, Anderson Cox, who's monitoring those questions, and he'll let me know if any of those come in. So, Coach, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Just wanted to mention that, first, since we're broadcasting from Jack's place here in Pelham, just wanted to, mention, and we're going to try to get him on the show here in a few minutes. He's supposed to be en route, but just maybe talk a little bit about what Jack meant to the program. Who Jack Donovan, his son Carson, played several years for the program, was a starter. I think every year he played, and is at Samford now. But just talk about the contribution that Jack Donovan made to this program.
Yeah, as you know, we're a volunteer-based organization pretty much. And Jack and Michelle Donovan come in. Carson played for 5 years, 1 year on JV, and then we pulled him straight up to varsity.
Yep.
When he was a 9th grader, and he started for 4 years at center.
I thought you pulled him up as an 8th grader, actually.
Well, he did come up with us at the end of the year.
Okay.
But he didn't really play with us. He practiced with us after the junior high season was over with.
I got you.
And then, but he started his freshman year till he left, and of course now he's at Samford and doing well. Jack and Michelle and their family have meant so much to our school, our program, the things that they've done. Hard workers, love of Angel. Love the kids.
Yeah.
Fed us so many times.
So many times.
Down in Panama City, of course, anybody that ever went down there knows that Jack cooked for 3 days. And if you left hungry, as we always said, that was on you.
That was
not
on
Jack. You. And so here we are tonight in his restaurant, his one and only.
Yep.
And I'm sure he'll be arriving. And you'll know when he gets here.
Yeah.
He tends to make an entrance.
Yep.
But
Jack's a great guy.
Oh, my gosh. He's not only – one of my parents that we had, it was Jack and I became really close. Mm-hmm. And we still talk 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Of course, when it was during football season and Carson was playing for us, we talked every day.
Right.
And so it's been something to deal with this year,
It's been different.
It has been different. And so glad to see Michelle's already here, Jack Jr.'s here, Ashley's here, and Carson is making an appearance tonight himself.
That's awesome. So let's see, kind of bouncing around a little bit here with my agenda. I guess we'll talk a little football. How about that?
We can talk a little football. I'm good with
that. We had a nice conference opener last week with a home win over our rival Ezekiel Academy out of Montgomery, Alabama, in convincing fashion, I might say, 68-42. Were you glad we were finally able to start off with a lead and hang on to it?
Yeah, it felt good scoring first. And, we did. We asked our kids, let's start fast. Mm-hmm. And they did. And we didn't turn the ball over much. And we played really well in the first half. Got a little frustrated there at the end, but that's part of it.
Yeah.
We let them score a few times at the end to make it a little closer than it really was. But our kids played really, really hard. We had some – I tell you what we got going on. We got some kids growing up. Mm-hmm. I watched Ben Davis, who we call Miles. He's growing up. Staniscavage growing up, scored his first touchdown.
Yeah.
And there's some more Jack Nivens growing up. It's fun to watch. So Jack Loudon, who I call Jack Reacher, by the way. He's got the coolest nickname of any of them. Jack Reacher he's growing up. They're growing up in front of us, and that's a fun part of the job when you see them do that.
No doubt.
It's getting loud in here, by the way.
It is, and I'm just turning up your level a little bit. They don't know. They listen to you at home. They don't know how loud you can be on the football field. But,
Yeah.
you guys were able to hold Brandon Davis in check most of the night. He finished with over 100 yards, but like you said, we got into a hot clock situation, and a lot of that yardage and 3 TDs that he scored were later in the game when it was kind of no longer in doubt. How do you think the guys were able to make that happen?
Well, we talked about it all week. Of course, Coach Clay always has a great plan for everybody, and we were talking about, getting there is 8. All 8 of them getting there like a pack of wolves. That's what we talked about all week. You got to be a pack on it because he's one of the best athletes in our conference. He's very fast. If you miss a tackle, as we saw, he'll go to the house.
That's right.
I think he had 72 yards against our first team, and
That's
about 40
good.
of that was on one play or 50.
Yeah, it was a big play for sure.
Yeah.
And some individual performances I just wanted to call out. Kemp Swords, in the Freedom game, I think the weather affected the passing game a lot, but he bounced back, had a really nice night Friday night.
Yeah.
80% of his passes were completed. He only threw 12, but 5 of them were for touchdowns.
That's right.
Had some nice rushing. Just talk about, his contribution and how he's matured as a senior this year.
Yeah. Kemp's I don't know how to say. Kemp's just Kemp.
Yeah.
Y'all call him Squirrel, but if you watch us play and you watch him, he's so shifty. Mm-hmm. He's not the fastest guy on the team, even though he's fast. But his feet are so quick. And we tried to protect him a little bit in the Freedom game. We didn't want to run him much because a lot of people didn't know. But after playing those 3 11-man games, he was beat up a little bit. And we were trying to protect him.
A lot of kids were.
Yes, sir. We have been beat up. I'm sitting here looking at Cade sitting over here at the table. We're hoping to get him back maybe in another week or 2.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Wildcats playing tomorrow night, so
awesome.
He's back. So we're getting a few of them back. But, yeah, Kemp's just Kemp.
Yeah.
He's going to make things happen.
And speaking of Nick being back, Eli Black, the sophomore, stepped up for him at running back last week and had a really nice game. I had the stats pulled up here a minute ago. Let me see if I can get those back up.
That's another one, growing up in front of us.
Oh, man.
And he's
what
a night. He had 100-something yards.
He did. He had, I just had it, 128 rushing yards. He only carried it 5 times. 3 touchdowns.
That's terrible coaching.
Hey, is Nick going to get his job back this week?
Well, we are going to rotate him because Nick is still – I'm not going to say he's 100%. I don't know that he will be 100% because that shoulder. We're just going to have to take it as easy as we can. Stars here.
Yep, Jack's here. And Will Welch had another nice night receiving. He had, I think, almost 100 yards, 91 yards on 5 catches and 3 touchdowns. 3 of the 5 that Kemp threw.
That's a decent night.
That's a pretty good night. So that senior's stepping up since Cade's been out and contributing in the passing game. Going back to Eli, not only did he have a great night rushing, he also led the team in tackles, caused a fumble, and the sophomore is a force to be reckoned with out there.
Let me tell you, I have been fortunate enough to coach 3 of Marty Black's kids already, and Shelley.
Marty and Shelley.
Marty and Shelley, yeah. But I have been blessed to coach those 3 kids. Man, they're football players. They love the game. And
they play it the right way.
Harris, they play it the right way, and they're going to play 100%. You better be ready. And, I like to aggravate Harris and Hayden a little bit and say that Eli may be the best of the 3. We'll see. We'll see. But he is good. And let me tell you, if you don't know who number 9 is, and if you haven't watched our film and you go to play us and you don't know who number 9 is.
Yeah.
Jack Donovan winking at us over there.
All right.
You will know him real soon.
Yeah.
He will make his presence known.
Yep, and he doesn't look, he's not the biggest kid on the team, but he's probably the pound for pound the best athlete or the toughest, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
He's a football player.
He's a football player.
Reed Castleberry also had a nice night, 3.5 sacks. So.
Well, that was a point of emphasis last week and this week again, because we've really struggled getting pressure on the quarterback this year.
Yeah.
And it is different, playing 11 man. And so hopefully that we're back in 8-man for, one more week.
Yeah.
One more night, and then we go back to 11 for a week. But hopefully tomorrow night we can get some pressure. But, yeah, Reed and Ethan at those ends, and, they're a presence.
Yeah. Yeah, and held Sean Taylor, the quarterback for Ezekiel, to 7 of 22 passing for 181 yards and a couple of picks.
Yeah.
A couple of picks by Will Welch and Simon Stafford, by the way.
That's right.
Who's that kid?
I don't know. You know him. He's over there waiting for his food somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of, I bet you got some food coming out here soon.
Oh, it's over there.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't want it to get cold. But let's quickly maybe talk about the Lighthouse Warriors that we're playing tomorrow night up in Pinson, Alabama. What do we know about the Warriors this year?
Well, you start at the top with Coach JJ. He's been doing it so long. He's a great coach. This is a compliment. He's a better man than he is a coach. He's such a good person.
Yeah.
I love talking to him. He'll have them ready to play. They are down a little bit from where they were last year, but,
They lost some studs.
They did lose. They got a few playing at the next level.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they lost some really good players. So they're rebuilding it, and he will rebuild it.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. JJ is one of the great guys. And, of course, I think all the coaches in this conference are just top-notch guys. We're really fortunate. And I guess they wouldn't be the head coaches if they weren't, but it's just always a pleasure to get to interact with those guys and the competitors that they are, and they always make it fun week in and week out when we get to play them. So a couple of questions. Let me see if we had any questions come in on the chat. Any questions come in on the chat, Anderson? Okay, no questions on the chat yet. I did have one question from – I told him I didn't know if I wanted to ask it because I might not get to do the coaches show anymore. It's about Auburn football. I said, I don't know if I want to ask anything about Auburn football. Well, guess who it was?
Well, I know it wasn't Chad Parks because I talked to him today, and he and I, being a Mississippi State guy, I told him, I said, we're both terrible.
Yeah. It was David Littleton.
I ain't never liked him. It figures.
Yeah, so we're not going to ask anything.
Go ahead and ask the question.
It was a compliment. Being the coach that you are, what would you do to fix the passing game at Auburn?
I'm not smart enough. I don't know. They just Coach Freeze better become really smart real fast.
Yeah.
Auburn's known to pay guys that aren't there anymore. So
yeah, no doubt. Well, so maybe some fun questions. I think I might have asked you this before, but for folks who haven't heard before, who is your favorite athlete of all time?
Bo Jackson.
Well, I figured you were going to say that.
I'm not even hesitating. Greatest athlete of all time in my lifetime.
No doubt. I, as an Alabama fan growing up, I had his poster, his Bo Knows posters.
Had the one with the shoulder pass in the bat. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. I mean, that guy just unbelievable.
I never thought Auburn would lose as long as Bo was in the ball game.
Right.
I always thought Bo would find a way.
Yeah. And people don't know what a great track athlete he was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, won the decathlon in high school. Didn't even, really try that much, but just went out there and won the decathlon. I think he didn't even run one of the mile or something.
He'd already won it.
He'd already won it. He had enough points. He didn't need to. Just an amazing athlete. What about your favorite protein?
Yeah, this is going to make it even worse. Of course, I'm an Auburn Tiger. I'm a Miami Dolphin.
Oh, no.
Been a Dolphin all my life,
Yeah.
I hold on to that 16-0.
You got that one season, yeah.
I hold on to that because since Tua's out, we're terrible again. So we really need to win on Friday nights because Saturday and Sunday's not real good at my house for football.
Oh, well. Yeah, well, I lived through the Mike years as an Alabama fan, so I know what you're going through. So, and tell us about maybe the first college game you ever saw in person.
It was 1970 or 71. A family in Columbiana found out that I was a big Auburn fan, and I was the water boy at Shelby County when I was little.
Okay.
And my mom would wait on me after the games, and a lady by the name of Miss Cates.
Miss
Cates. And she was sitting with my mom, and Mom would sit there till I finished all my duties, and she'd be about the last one in the stadium. And I'd go up and we'd go home. Well, that night this lady was sitting beside her. I didn't know who she was. She introduced herself and she said, "How would you like to go to Auburn with me?"
Oh, wow.
And so it was Houston, and Auburn won 7-0. I can still remember going in the stadium. There was no upper decks. There were wooden bleachers in each corner of the end zone. There was no hedges.
Wow.
There was there wasn't even a
What year
fence.
was that?
I think it was 70 or 71.
Okay.
And
Lots changed on the plane since then.
a little bit.
What an awesome memory.
I have great memories of Auburn growing up. Angie and I took our kids, Heath and Aubrey, to Auburn and tailgated most of their whole life. I was at Legion Field when Bo went over the top. I was at Auburn the first time Alabama come there. Angie and I was. Angie was pregnant with Heath.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, and that big crowd. It was something that day I will never forget.
That was an amazing game.
So a lot of good memories at Auburn. Some sad ones, but mostly good.
Yep. Well, Coach, I don't want your food to get any colder over there. So
I'll come back in a little while. How about that?
we'll I think what we'll do now is we'll just play an ad or two while we shuffle around some coaches and get some other folks over here. And Coach, as always, we wish you much success. We'll probably get you back up here in a little bit with Jack, but go eat your food and we'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right. Thanks, Scott.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. You're watching the Coach Smith Show on our ECS YouTube channel. Located in Birmingham, Alabama, Prior Construction Immediate Care. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Locally owned and operated by the Bates family, Clanton Tractor and Equipment has been a Kubota tractor dealer since 1988. Located in Clanton on Highway 31, just south of historic downtown Clanton. Stephen Davis and Squirrels Plumbing provides residential and commercial plumbing services. Give them a call today for a free estimate. And remember, they are nuts about plumbing. Brokered by Arc Realty, Michelle Shannara is happily serving buyers and sellers of Shelby County and beyond. Call her today at 205-230-8171 or visit michelleshannara.arcrealtyco.com. Michelle Shannara, your neighbor, your realtor. When lightning strikes, call Craig Doris State Farm, your local neighborhood agent. With over 20 years of service, Craig and his team are ready to help you navigate life's storms. They provide customized planning and risk management to protect your property, provide financial relief in loss, and realize long-term investment goals. Contact them today at craigdoris.com. All right, and we're back. All right, guys, give me a mic check real quick.
Check, check.
Check, check.
Yeah, y'all know how to do this. All right, so on my left, I guess you're right if you're watching at home, I got Clay Romano, defensive coordinator for Evangel. On my right, I got Hagan Joyner, offensive coordinator for Evangel. So, guys, we just got to hear from Coach Smith, and I opened up with, we're at Cajun Boys and our Poboys tonight, and just a lot of great memories made with the Donovan family, Jack and Michelle, and, of course, Carson that played for us. Maybe start off, Hagan, I'll start with you. Give me your, what's your favorite memory of hanging out with the Donovans all those years?
Oh, it just goes straight back to PCB for me. The trips aren't the same without them there. You walk in, I'll never forget the first time we walked in, and there was just, a mountain of snacks for the kids that it looked like something out of a movie.
That's right.
They'd be getting prepared, and just having the fires and the fellowship. I felt like that was a great time. Like, you reminisce on the season, and then you're also making great memories playing and coaching while you're down there. But definitely the PCB trip for me.
Yep. How about you, Clay?
Well, I hate to say it, but Hagan probably stole it. It's the same. I just remember, obviously shout out and thank you to the Donovan family for allowing us to host it here, and it is special to be here because that family's meant so much to Evangel since my time here, and they've just the humblest, just a servant's heart, and they've given so much to our program. And Carson was just an absolute joy to coach, and wish him the best of luck at Sanford on his journey now. But that family means a ton to this program, and just thankful to have a part of it.
No doubt. Man, as Coach said, if you left Panama City hungry, that was your fault.
Your fault, for sure.
So, well, let's talk a little football. So we're 5-1 on the season. Got our first conference win last week over our rivals from Montgomery, Alabama, Ezekiel Academy. I told Coach it was probably nice for you to get out to a lead and be able to hold it. So what was the strategy last week for Evangel against Ezekiel?
We were missing some key guys, Cade out wide and Wildcat at running back, and, Big Woods was questionable on the defensive side going into it. So, we were already thin at running back as it was.
Right.
And then Cade, our deep threat guy, we're missing, two of our better offensive players.
Right.
Really get Will the ball, bring Paul along, which we started with him early there, and Eli Black really stepped up at the running back position. And then you feel a lot better when you know Kemp Swords is at the helm. You know what you've got. You know what you're going to get every single week. And I think he had 6 touchdowns 2 weeks ago, and then 7 maybe last week. But it's just as long as we've got him at the helm and we've got other guys around, and we have some things we can work with there. But our guys just came out and executed early and executed often on offense, and it was nice to see because we got off to some slow starts against Freedom, against Franklin. Franklin, we had a good first drive, but after that we stalled out a little bit. So Banks especially. So it was really good to come out and get off to that early consistent start that we've been kind of missing for these last few weeks.
And what's it like? I mean, you had Tyler Henderson and Eli Whitfield who they could run. They were athletes, but they were more known for their passing abilities, more pocket passing styles. Eli didn't like to get hit. Sorry, Eli, if you're watching. But so. What's it been like coaching that true dual threat quarterback that we have in Squirrel?
I would say for me, it goes to the mental side of things, as far as it's my job to find a way to bond with that quarterback in a way where he's going to trust what I tell him or ask of him, and trust that we know what we're doing. He can go in the huddle and confidently, say what we're doing.
That's right.
Kemp does a great job of not showing frustration. We've each quarterback's been different. Tyler was a football player that was a sport. He was a leader in that regards, vocal, physical. Eli was obviously a baseball player, but had a lot of emotion to him. And then Kemp's just more even keel. They all have their pros and cons in their own way, and it's my job to find a way to get the most out of them. I would say, and I think that I've been able to build that relationship with each quarterback, and they don't make it very hard to do. But the dual threat side of things has really opened up the playbook, especially in 8-man when you get that extra blocker. Having that extra blocker at 8-man is so key when you can use that running back on a quarterback sweep, or just go empty and have an extra and a tight end in the game to lead block for the quarterback. It really opens everything up when he is a true dual threat.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of these teams in 8-man, they've started spying him now, which makes things open up over the top a lot easier when they're not playing a zone or they can't have that safety. They've got a guy that's just designated to follow Kemp around the football field.
That's a good point. Yeah, you've been fortunate to coach some pretty good quarterbacks. I think I agree. Kemp seems to never get too high, never get too low. He's just very even keel, and he just does his thing week in and week out.
I ask him sometimes, I just be on the sideline. I'm like, hey man, you are having fun doing this, right? Like you're enjoying tonight. Yeah, Coach, I am. And just give a grin.
Yeah. Well, he's putting up some gaudy numbers under your tutelage last year and a half or so, and we hope that continues. Talk a little bit before I swap over to the defense. Talk a little bit about maybe Eli Black and his development in the running game, stepping up for Nick Cloud last week.
Eli Black is like our Swiss Army knife this year. I mean, he learns it and knows it, but he knows just about every position on the field.
Right.
He'll start at tight end one game. He'll start at slot. He'll start out wide. He'll start at running back. He gets back all the backup quarterback reps. And he's a sophomore, So the future's definitely bright for him, but just seeing him step into that role, you don't ever really know if a kid's going to hit the hole until you get in there on Friday night.
That's a good
Scout
point.
team's one thing, but getting out there, seeing if they can carry the football in a varsity football game, and then him running that hook and ladder to perfection and getting called back.
Oh, man.
I would like to put on the record, I did not call that play 2 times on the same drive. It was supposed to be a fake pitch the second time.
Oh,
and
okay.
so he pitched it back. I would not call the same play there. So sorry, Benjamin.
Well,
if you watch the broadcast, though, Scott said we should run it again. So he was happy you ran it.
He did. He did say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty. I hate it got called back. It
Me
sure
too.
was pretty. Well, anything else you want to talk about the offense? I mean, offensive lines, they've really come along. You know, got basically 3 new guys up there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and for 8-man.
Especially at center was our biggest gap because it's just been plugged Carson in. He doesn't miss games. He's going to be our center, and he's going to lead the offensive line, right? And Henry's done a great job of stepping in that role, embracing that role, and it was, we had a battle this summer, and he came out and won it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just across the board, I've been proud of the guys. I told Coach Smith the other day, we could be 6-0, but we could be 3-3, just as easily. And these kids just step up, next man up, and find a way to win these games that are really 50-50 some nights, 60-40 the other way, and they just find a way to get it done. I think a lot of that attests to the culture that's been created. Is just a lot of the kids don't know they don't know how to lose. They get in that moment. It's like, well, we just flip this switch and win those games
Make the play that needs to be
consistently.
made, yeah.
Consistently.
No doubt. Well, that's probably has a lot to do with the coaching. So I'll give it to you guys for that. Well, Clay, you kind of started with a clean slate this year, didn't you?
I sure did.
I mean, you lost all 8 seniors on the defense. You want to go eat? I see your food over there. You want to go eat?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Might get you back up here later,
Okay,
but go
that's
ahead
good,
and eat
yeah.
so your food doesn't get cold. So, Clay, you watch that core right there, Hagan. So you started with clean slate. You had 8 seniors last year. I mean, they were dynamic. And scoot this way a little bit.
Yeah,
me.
absolutely.
Get in the camera a little bit better. There we go. So, what was it like? Did you have to did guys just step up, or what was it like the process of putting together the 2024 edition of the defense?
Absolutely. Well, we knew this year was going to be a rebuilding year. I mean, a lot of people probably don't know, but 2 years ago, we had 7 juniors starting on defense, and we only had 1 senior, which was Judah. And if Caleb wouldn't have got hurt at the first of that year, Judah wouldn't even have been on. And out of those 7, none of them played both ways. So I was really spoiled that every time the offense was on the field, I was able to meet with the defense and make adjustments. And then last year we had those same 7 start, and then we added 1 more in Caleb because we got Caleb back. And so, for the last 2 years, we've had pretty much the same personnel. They knew the defense, and they were in year 2 of it. A lot of them played in it in year 1, and so the experience was just tremendous. And when you think about building a program and how important it is to get the younger kids ready when they're not playing as much.
Right.
And even though they got in when we were up by a lot in a lot of those games, it was very vanilla what we were doing. We weren't running the full aspects of the defense, and it really kind of taught me that it's important. That's why we put those kids in against Ezekiel, even though they were continuing to run and all that. It's like, let's get them experience. Let's let them understand what we're trying to do so that we're building for the future. But, this year personnel-wise, we look different. We're running a lot of the same concepts, but, last year on the D-line, you've got Grady, Cole, and Clay that are very athletic, very fast, and Grady and Cole did not go both ways, so they were fresh.
Yeah.
And this year –
So did you just kind of just turn them loose last year, and this year it's more
control and
control your gap?
Because we got Reed and Ethan who are playing both ways, and so it's more about alignment, assignment, responsibility. Don't try to do too much out of what you're supposed to do, right? Let's play it and be more sound, gap sound, all of that. And then we've got Big Woods and we've got Wyatt, who are playing the middle, which is a totally different look. Clay could get back there and put pressure on the quarterback. But Clay could also get double teamed and push back 6 yards, right? Like, and that's not going to happen with White and Wood. So there's a little bit of difference there.
None of those guys broke 200 pounds
No.
last year.
Now, the whole defense, I think our average weight was 170, but all of them ran under a 4.
Yeah.
A 5 on the 40. So
Yeah.
we were really fast. And then when you look at the linebackers, Nick's done a really good job stepping in at the mic. I think he understands what we're doing. He feels well, tackles well, but. And then you always have a black on defense, right? I started out with Harris.
Yeah.
I had Hayden, and now I got Eli. And and the one thing you're going to know about a black is they're going to hit you, they're going to tackle well, they're going to make big plays. And Eli's done that for me on defense. And then Kemp's been a really strong part of the defense first part of the year. I have been trying every game to get Kemp off the field. And the one really good surprise we've had this year is Simon. We hadn't had Simon the last year, and so for him to come back, he's kind of my Swiss Army knife. Like, he played Mike last week, for Wildcat.
Out,
We put him at wheel a little bit. We've had him at the outside backer in 11-man, and this week because Lighthouse runs a ton of two tights, he's going to play a hybrid defensive end linebacker because you got to get a guy on the line with two tights, and so Simon's done a really good job for us. And Cade and Will, they can play the corners, but Paul has been really, really good for us. Paul's got a lot of speed. He actually, it's funny, it was the 4th game, and Paul missed the first part of the practice, and he came up to me that fourth. No, it was Banks. It was against Banks.
Banks, right.
And he said, Coach, this is the day before the game now. Can you teach me how to tackle? And I said, this is game 4, Paul. He goes, and I forgot. He missed when we do all the tackling drills. Then we don't tackle live as much during the week because we want to keep people healthy. And he said, I haven't made a tackle yet. And I went back and looked at the film, and he had deflected, but he hadn't had that night. He made a lot of tackles. So I said, I don't think we got to run you through a lot, Paul. But he's been a really good addition to the defense.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
it's just one of those guys that he's so fast and athletic. You got to figure out a way to get him on the field. For folks that don't know at home, he's talking about Paul Dixon, who is a senior, has played football before, but I think, was it only flag football? Or
I'm not real sure the story, but he's been out a while, but he's been a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah, so Paul comes out this year, decides, this is my senior year, I'm gonna play football, and he's been, as you said, a special addition to the defense and offense. He's playing some good offense too for us, and. That the coach told me that story that y'all were teaching him how to tackle, like in the locker room before the Banks game or something. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. But my son, you mentioned Simon. He was the same way. He didn't play for the last 2 years. He played JV, but didn't play the last 2 years. Took off to do his fishing thing, but decided. Looks like Evangel's a little shorthanded in football this year, so I'm going to come out, and I'm glad y'all are able to figure out somewhere for him to play.
Thankful to have him. He's been a really good addition, and playing 11-man has been interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because
you already got so many guys going both ways on 8-man.
And what I thought was going to happen with us playing 11-man, and I still think to some parts it did, is that we really found out about our depth. Because we got 3 extra guys on the field. And what that told me, that 11-man, is that Simon can help us, that Wyatt can help us, and that Paul can help us, right? And so when we've gone back to 8-man, I was thinking we're going to have some really good depth. And then we get into that freedom game, and we lose Wildcat. We lose Cade. Caleb Woods. Hurts. I mean, that's 3 that's down. And luckily – we had that depth from 11-man to put in there, so we were ready for the next week. We're not putting people cold that haven't been in games yet. So it paid off. Unfortunately, it had to pay off due to injury, but it's been a pleasant surprise. We're not giving up a little more points than we're used to, but at the end of the day, it's about still making plays, getting 8 people to the football, 11-man if we're in 11-man, and trying to put our offense in good positions. And so I think for the most part, we've still been able to do that.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Coach, you're doing a fantastic job. I mean, we've played some really good teams, and to hold them to as low a point total as we have, I think is a testament to your philosophy and your coaching, and we really appreciate that. I wanted to maybe talk a little basketball. Is your food over there?
I've already ate.
Oh, you already ate? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe when Hagan gets done, we'll come back up here and talk a little basketball because my guy here is my play-by-play guy for the basketball games and does a by the way, he's the best play-by-play guy that Evangel has across any sport. So if you don't get a chance to, if you haven't had a chance to watch a basketball game, you definitely need to tune in. I'm assuming you're going to be around a couple games.
You know, Scott, I love it. I think it's a ton of fun to watch the kids and work with you. And it was really fun last year. We went on a good run. Now if you'll have me, I'd be tickled to death to be able to do it.
Okay, well, great. I thought you were about to tell me, but
no, but as long as you want me, I'll do it.
Yep, the best broadcast to watch is Clay and Coach Smith. Play-by-play and color commentary on a basketball game. I'm just saying it right there. So, and Coach Hagan Joyner, offensive coordinator, is obviously the head basketball coach. So maybe we'll get y'all back up here in a little bit to talk about that. I want to try to get Jack. I think he's maybe finishing up his meal over there. Maybe get Jack and Coach Smith back up here.
Sure.
I mean, you're welcome to stay because we got 2 more chairs. We just might have to move that. You might want to come around to this side so we can move that light for Jack to get over here. We'll figure that out. All right, so while we're trying to figure that out, I'm going to play a couple of ads here, and we will be right back. You're watching the Coach Smith Show on the ECS Athletics YouTube channel. Located in Birmingham, Alabama, Pryor Construction, Inc. provides general contracting services to its clients. For more information, visit their website at pryorconstruction.com. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Let Victor James Photography capture all of your special moments this season and beyond to craft memories that will last a lifetime. Specializing in senior portraits, special events, and more. Schedule now and strike lightning. Are you wanting to buy or sell recreational land or a farm? Call William O'Neill with Base Camp Country Real Estate at 205-470-7812 or email william.o'neill@basecampcountry.com. Base Camp Country Real Estate. It's more than dirt, it's a lifestyle.
One fat dude with 3 skinny people.
By the way, your mic's hot now.
No, I got 0 issues with that.
Oh, me. All right, so we're back. We got Jack Donovan to my left here, and Coach Smith and Coach Clay's back. Jack, I just first of all, I wanted to thank you for welcoming us here tonight and opening your place to us. We got a great crowd, which folks watching at home can't see, but the place is packed. I like this. We might have to make this a thing.
Every Thursday night, brother, you can do this at your will. Anything you want to do, brother, you're welcome here at any time.
Well, I don't know who you was calling the fat man a while ago, but if it wasn't me, there'll be
I was
two
actually
if we
about
hear
to
it.
comment on that. I was the fat person. Look at our faces. Look, you know I'm the fat person.
Yep. So watching at home, we were talking, I talked to Clay and Hagan and obviously Coach Smith a little while ago, just some great memories the last 5 years or so that you were with the program and Carson was playing and the trips to Panama City and all the times you fed us and everything. We just really appreciate it, man, and can't say enough about your love and dedication for the program.
Oh, well, thank y'all. Look, I can't tell you how much we actually miss it. I mean, it's definitely I miss it tremendously. Just one, being able to go. Obviously, our first game this year, y'all's first game this year, Evangels, and we went to Gatlinburg and followed y'all up there. We've been to 2 of the games so far, and the other ones have been watched at home. And just, man, it still brings back so many memories, so many good times. We'll have to figure out what's going to happen at the end of the year, if I'm going to be cooking with John or John's going to be cooking or some other dad's going to call me and say, hey, let's do something. We don't know what's going to happen, but I'm sure something's going to happen. So,
yeah, no doubt.
Know.
Well, so we know Carson's at Sanford. Maybe just talk a little bit about what he's up to, what the other kids are up to these days.
Yeah, Carson's doing great, man. He's at Sanford, playing a little bit of football. Obviously, redshirted for a freshman his first year. So, I call him like the tackling dummy. He's guard tackling any guards. The cooler sits on the end of the bench and tackles anybody that comes near it. So, different things. But, no, he's doing real good. Loving school. Sanford's been a great program so far. He's so excited. Like, I was just with him, y'all, for the last 2.5 hours. So I had a little daddy downtime with him, and he talks so much, about that. I mean, he's engaging in it more and more and more and just opening up and loving it. For the coaches there that don't really know him up front, I mean, it is – I don't know if he's even opened up yet, guys. Y'all know Carson was a little reserved, but he is opening up way even more now. So he's doing good. Ashley graduates in December with an accounting master's, UAB. And Jack Jr. loves life, It's funny. I took him to the doctor's on last Thursday and for a little annual checkup, and the doctor started asking him all the questions, what does he like to do and everything, and so he puts a W in front of the R.
Yeah.
But what I'm about to tell you, and the doctor says, well, Jack, do you work or anything? He says, no, I'm rich. And different things. So I'm wondering where he gets that from. And I said, no, son. I said, what do you mean by rich? I said, Dad, I can afford chicken and fries. So that's his thing of rich. Like, if you can afford chickens and fries, the little things and stuff. So the doctor laughed, and she never actually heard that before. So that was actually pretty funny. So, but no, the kids are doing good. My wife's doing good. We need people to, obviously, I'm going to say it on air, be a Republican and vote, because we need to figure out the office that's there right now, because – obviously, the economy needs to change. So, I know I'm a home builder, so I'll say it. So, something needs to happen come December. November, I'm sorry.
You got multiple businesses. You got Cajun Boys here, and you build homes, and so you're definitely affected by the economic issues for sure.
Yeah, if anybody thinks that the far left hand is going to do us anything, that they struggling or different things like that, But it is what it is. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
But, no, it's a pleasure.
Well, I did tell Jack Jr. I was going to give him a shout-out that Jack Jr. is a beast. That's what I told him. He said, I want to hear you say it. So he's going to listen back. There you go, Jack.
Jack's over there enjoying some of that good Cajun Boys food right now.
By the way, Carson looks a little different than when he wore that Navy.
How much is he put on?
Actually, he hit 296. I think he said he's around – Carson, what are you, about 286 you said, 280? Yeah, like he's lost about 10 pounds in the last little bit. He said – yesterday and today they've been doing them 45 minutes where they leave them on the field. They're going up against the 1 and 2s for 45 minutes straight, no break. I said, I love it. He says, Dad, it's hard. I said, great. That's why I love
days,
it.
Coach
I do remember those. So, I wish he had another year eligibility in high school. We'd take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But no, he'll get his playing time in one day, and if it doesn't happen, hey, it doesn't happen. But, God's been good, and it's been good. So, education is the biggest thing. So, I think he's right where he needs to be school-wise.
Absolutely.
Well, what do you think about maybe starting a little tradition?
Oh, talking about coming here on
Yeah.
Thursday? Oh, I'm good. Look, I just had
I don't
a
have to
shrimp
twist your arm,
Poboy,
do I?
and I had his famous coleslaw. Look, let me just go on and tell all of y'all. You can come here for the shrimp. It's good. You can come here for mahi-mahi. It's good. You can come here for the chicken fingers, which Cade's eating, because that's all he eats. But if you don't get the coleslaw, you're missing out. Now, Coach Clay had
I like the red beans and rice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That bowl was pretty empty when I went back.
Oh, yeah, it was
I'm going
empty.
to tell you something to cheat with that red beans and rice. Next time, tell them put the white rice, just a little thing. Get them to put the jambalaya, scoop of jambalaya as the rice, and then put the red beans on top, the red beans on top, and try that.
I'll try that.
I even do that with the gumbo. I like that and stuff like that. But I tell people, when you come in and you sit 30, 40 people, you might wait a couple minutes of different things like that for your food.
Yeah.
Everything is cooked fresh here. Nothing is sitting back there. Everything is cooked fresh to order and stuff like that. So,
and it's fantastic.
That's what I tell people. We don't just have, bread already, warmed up and done and everything back there. Everything you get is cooked to order.
He told me a story one time. We were down at the beach together, and we were having lunch. I won't call the name of the place. And I ordered a shrimp po' boy.
Okay.
And it
was
just come
frozen.
It was just piled up with shrimp. And as soon as they set it down, he said, well, that's froze. And I said, well, how do you know? I said, you don't think it's fresh? He said, no, you couldn't afford it.
No.
He said, if it comes piled up like that, he said, that's froze. So
Yeah.
most of the places down at the beach.
Yep. Everything's overseas and stuff like you hate it. You really do, because we get everything in domestic. I'll even give a shout out to Roll that brings in our seafood and stuff like that. Everything I get is all domestic. Is what they call flash frozen, just enough to get it to us because it comes out of Mobile. And our oysters are out the Gulf. Everything is fresh. We got to keep tags on everything. So when they come in and they do it, we have all of our tags back there for everything. So, when we do it. So that's why I tell people, if you think you're coming in here and you're getting a shrimp from China from 6 months ago, you're not. You're getting everything here is fresh. And I got the invoices to prove it. And if they're lying on the invoices and, different things. But no, we do. We have the invoices to prove it. So Gambino's
awesome.
French bread is brought up from New Orleans. The muffalata bread, they ship it in through we use U.S. Foods, but they ship it in through them. So everything we get, all the blue plate mayonnaise, all the jack sauce, the coleslaw, everything else is made with the blue plate mayonnaise. You can't even really buy that here.
I could just talk to him all day when he says words like mayonnaise.
I'm sorry. I don't even eat it. Anybody
loves
that knows
mayonnaise.
me knows I do not like straight mayonnaise, but I love my jack sauce and I love the coleslaw because coleslaw is made with the jack sauce. But also, the ingredients that's in it changes it from it has zero flavor of mayonnaise that's inside of it.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
But I love it. I love food in general. Look at me. Dude. Come on.
Well, we love your food. Well, anything else y'all want to talk about, or we can wrap it up?
Well, I want to talk about Auburn.
No, not Auburn.
We done that. Let's go.
No.
I will say this, that tomorrow night, if you're planning on coming to the game, it sits down in like a hole, a bowl type. And there's not many bleachers on the visitor side, so you'll want to bring a chair. But there is a place where you can sit up top and look kind of over it.
That's where y'all tried to flip that trailer at?
I wasn't going to tell the story.
Y'all told me I couldn't get it up there, huh?
Yeah, you can't dare it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's one of the
didn't
craziest
have
things I've ever seen, by the way.
Oh, my gosh. What kind of car was it? Was that the Cadillac?
Yeah, it was one of the Escalades or whatever, the Cadillac Escalade. And then I had the trailer behind it, and y'all needed to get higher, and the only way to get higher was go through the woods. And I'm like, all right. So we had to climb up the hill behind the bleachers, up the 5-6 foot embankment, and get it up there, and everybody's just looking. So
he backs a large cover. How long? How
it was a 20-foot enclosed.
A 20-foot enclosed trailer up a hill, and it's like at a 45-degree angle, and somehow that thing didn't flip over.
That was the year that you told Hagan, if you don't get your butt off that doggone trailer and get down here, I'm going to call all the plays.
I threw my sheet. I had the play sheet. I just threw it away. I said, I know what to call.
I remember that year. Hagan thought he was going to call the plays from up on top of the trailer up there. So
We've had some great memories here.
Having fun.
What a ride those kids put us on for those years.
Yeah.
It's good to see Carson sitting back here. I know some others that are playing. It's been a heck of a ride.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
No matter what happens this year, everybody knows we're not going back to Panama City now this year. So, state championship or bust.
Yep, that's right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's what we need to do this year.
Y'all look good,
Thursday
though.
night, we need to have a cookout.
We can
Sounds
do it.
good.
Day before, if we make it to the state.
Oh, that's awesome.
I like to jinx us.
I'm
Yeah.
game.
I
You
gotta
just
go
got to
back
tell
if
me.
we make it.
Got to win 3 more.
Yeah, give me the dates
And
and,
then
stuff.
playoffs.
And give me a couple dads, and I'm in good shape.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
Well, I'm so thankful for y'all and appreciate it. Appreciate Scott and them doing this. I'm just asking, do you want Coach Wolf or Welch? See, Welch is feeding his face so fast.
Oh, yeah, he's
If y'all
hungry.
can see,
Yeah,
that dude can eat.
I tell you what, if we come back or another game, we can
Ain't
get
no
them
if.
on.
Do it every Thursday night, dude.
Yeah.
I don't win nothing.
Yeah.
Right here, set up.
All right. Hey, I'm game. I'm
We got
10
good
minutes
Wi-Fi,
down the
too.
road. It's a little
We
bit
got
more of a
what's
haul
got
for
to-
this guy.
Yeah, ask anybody out there to tweet in if they getting any scratching with the Wi-Fi or anything
Hey,
like that.
that's what was most impressive. I showed Coach Smith the upload speed
Yeah.
for the video. I was like, we need to get this at the gym.
Yeah, if we don't have it here, I got another. If this one ever goes out, I have my, I just switched my Donovan Build office to the front building, and then my Oak Mountain Realty Group, we have that. So
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I got internet in both locations
it's-
that'll reach both areas. So
It's having no issues whatsoever for
Good.
sure.
Mama said, "Thank you for doing this so old people can watch."
Good job.
If
Appreciate
they
you, Mama.
if they figured out I have to send the link, every week, so I ain't gonna get into that. Papa will get mad at me. I ain't saying nothing.
Well,
What a great crowd.
Hey, if Papa and Mama tune in, I'll send you that link every week.
Every week.
Oh,
They
Coach-
tune in every week.
Coach Clay, how's Hunter doing?
He's doing good. He had another little injury setback, but he got some stress fractures in his shins, but he's recovering from that. We're trying to figure out get him back.
Thank you for asking, man.
But appreciate you asking. Thank
Yes,
you.
indeed, man. He is a one heck of a young man.
Yeah,
No,
no
I
doubt.
appreciate
I've always been impressed with him, always. Not that all you kids and that, don't take that the wrong way.
No, absolutely.
I've always been impressed with Hunter, the way how he carries himself and talks to people and everything like that. Always good.
The way he handled that injury.
Oh,
You know,
look.
Wow.
And I know how hard, because he and I had several conversations.
Look, it was 1.5 feet in front of me at that game.
That's right.
And different things like that. I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah,
you know.
but he handled it well. He was there every Friday night cheering on his teammates, and I know that was tough. I can't imagine.
I was so thankful at the end of the year when he was ready to go back in. Y'all thought he might play in Gatlinburg or whatever, and he chose not to do it and just wait. I said, thank you, Lord. I said,
Yes.
'cause he didn't need to go in just yet.
Yeah.
And,
Not at all.
But that's hard to give up your senior year to be able to do something like that, and for that type of injury. But no, he did. He carried it like an actual grown man.
You did.
I appreciate that. Scott, you did mention something that I do want to give a big shout out to Welch and Wolf. They do a fantastic job with the defense. Welch coaching the defensive backs and Coach Wolf with the D-line, and couldn't do it without them, and they do a phenomenal job, and just want to make sure that I
Yeah, we'll get them on the show.
looked
for
at
sure.
them for that.
Our whole coaching staff, Clay and I have talked about this. We're a pretty tight-knit group, and I told them this year when, Coach Blake, Zion and them graduated, so he was going, and I told him, I said, I won't bring anybody else in until we know that they can fit, because we don't want to mess up what we got.
Yeah.
Not that we don't welcome people in, but
Yeah.
it's a close-knit group who will cut each other very hard. So
Yeah, well,
you got to be able to take it.
You got to have that right chemistry,
You do.
to be able to hold each other accountable, but do so in a way that you don't, hurt each other,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Hurt the
And,
chemistry.
Clay and Wolf and Welch do a good job on defense, and then they both come over and help us on offense. And Clay does too. He works with us on offense. We all jump in. Clay has to travel sometimes.
Yeah.
Wolf's job, some days he can't make it there. So some days I'm the offensive line coach. Some days I'm the defensive coordinator. And some days I'm the offensive coordinator because Hagen's job takes him away. And
Well,
we brought Dexter on a little bit this year. We're going to slowly bring him in.
okay.
He talks
Welcome
a
to
lot.
homeschool football, right?
He's our hype man.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a hot man. That's
Yes,
right.
indeed. Yeah, definitely school football. The first day I showed up for practice, I always like to tell us. I looked at John at 7th grade. I said, "Hey, man," I said, "I know we just met, but we're missing 3 players on the field." And
John Parker.
yeah,
Yeah.
he said, "No, man, we play 8-man ball." I said, "What the heck's 8-man ball?" And I didn't even. Shelly didn't tell me anything. I just called and said, "Yeah, I'll help do whatever," different things like that. I didn't know what we was getting into. I just realized on the field we was missing total of 6 people.
Yeah.
And 3 on each side. And then he's like, "No, man, we play 8-man football." I'm like, "Well, who you missing?" I had to figure that out. That was
Coach,
for anybody that doesn't know. That's kind of a wild thing to look at first. But then you
It
talk
is.
about it. 6-man ball is used in a lot of rural areas, like in Wyoming,
Texas.
Texas. different places like that.
Yeah.
But it is.
It's getting bigger in
it's
Alabama,
fun.
too. We've got,
Yes.
9 teams in AISA playing 8-man now?
We counted it up not long ago, and I think with all 3 divisions that we got, and there's 1 or 2 that's still not in a conference, I think there's 22 in the state
Wow.
of Alabama.
awesome.
So,
Yep.
but the ACSC, we still feel like this is the best conference in the state in the country.
Well, that's evident in how hard it is to get folks to play us.
Yeah, they can be right down the road and not want to play you, but
Yeah.
I do want to say this about we have played 3 11-man games already. Yeah.
Sure have.
And we got 1 more to go. And I'll say this about our kids and our coaching staff when I ask them before we schedule somebody, you want to do it? Absolutely. We're not going to back down. God's been too good to us. We've won a lot of football games. If we lose a couple of football games and our kids are steady getting better, Clay and Hagen and I have talked about how much better we are this year in 8-man because of those 11-man games. Let some of those kids grow up and give us some depth that we didn't know we had.
Yep.
So And we know what we got next week. And we'll talk about it. I mean, we got the number 1 team in the state. They're good. But you know what? Coach Allen and I are friends. He needed a ball game because he's in the same boat we're in. He can't get teams to play him. And they've done been to Starkville, Mississippi, and they got to play, and they're playing us. So that gives him, if he didn't have those 2 games, he'd have had 8. So we're going to go down there and play Chambers. We're going to give them everything we got, and we'll see
what happens.
That's right.
Well, Coach, we're certainly looking forward to it. Looking forward to the game tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to coming back here next Thursday now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
welcome anytime.
Maybe we started a little thing here. So if you can't make it out to the Pinson, Alabama tomorrow to watch the game in person, we'll be on air with the live stream. Since we're not doing the coaches show, we'll probably go live about 6:45 tomorrow. And
I ain't got to do the coaches show tomorrow afternoon.
That's right.
I get to take a nap.
You're going to take a nap.
On that nasty couch still upstairs?
Oh, no.
You got a new one now?
No, I told him to get it
all
out.
Right.
You need to eat a big lunch, take a nap, and skip that pregame meal.
If you saw what I just ate over there. What about you? Have you ate yet?
No, I had a snack before I came up here. I'm good.
You got to tell us what you want.
But I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat all right.
Yeah.
For sure. I already got my tab open up there.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay. Angie, tell.
Yep. Well, guys, it's been fun. Really appreciate all of you joining us today. And, coaches, we wish y'all much success tomorrow night. Jack, we wish you much success in your businesses. And we'll do it again next week.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us, Scott. Appreciate what you do.
God bless everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
God bless.
Strike lightning.
Strike lightning.